Welcome to your best kept secret to success. I'm Prema, and this is where resonance replaces readiness and your frequency leads the way. You're entering a mini series within the podcast, and these episodes carry a different tone. They're part of what I call the NarrowGate, a frequency that filters out what no longer belongs and clarifies the deeper structure of your leadership. These are not just teachings, they are resonance gates. If one opens for you, it's because you're ready. Take a breath with me as we open the space together, and let it be a breath that doesn't reach forward or try to fix anything, but simply returns you to the place beneath effort. Today, we're not stepping into more content, we're entering into coherence, a deeper current that runs under all the motion of your life. In this episode, we're entering the first gate of a new series, NarrowGate. And this first transmission is Distillation Is Power. In this episode, it's the spine of the entire NarrowGate framework. We're going to strip away every externalized metric that has ever tried to define your value and come back to what you know is true. That where you spend your time, energy, your attention shapes the structure of your life. We're going to talk about time not as something you manage, but as something you consecrate. We're going to look at the hidden leakage points in your field, and we're going to reclaim your resonant authority, not by doing more, but by doing less, and holding it with clarity. You don't need another strategy. You don't need your own access back. This episode is your remembering. If you've never taken the Sacred Wealth Archetype Quiz, it's a wonderful place to start. You'll discover your unique Sacred Wealth Code, one of your Sacred Wealth Code archetypes, which holds the key to aligned purpose and prosperity. You'll find the link in the show notes. We will do a short planetary update from Vedic astrology. Later on in the episode, we'll do an oracle card reading from the Sacred Wealth Code Oracle deck and an integration practice also to make sure that you integrate and embody what you've received today. So now we're on the other side of the eclipses. We're just coming out of the solar eclipse equinox portal, and the sky is ripe with the energy of refinement, reset, and the right use of voice. The Sun and Mercury are both in Virgo in Vedic astrology, the sidereal zodiac, the sign of sacred service, intelligent design, and discerning communication. Mercury, which is our communicator and also our merchant in the Sacred Wealth Code archetype system, is exalted here. And it's very at home in the practical brilliance of this earthly sign of Virgo. It brings with it a sharpness of mind, clarity of detail, and the ability to solve problems with precision. When Mercury is exalted, our words carry weight if they are rooted in coherence. Now, the Sun, the great leader, in the Sacred Wealth Code archetype system. The Sun joined Mercury on September 17th and will be there till mid-October. And together they form a conjunction that highlights the fusion of intellect and identity, and can be a very powerful time for public speaking, teaching, structuring your offerings, or giving form to a vision that has been living inside of you. This is a transit that supports clarity through containment. But because the Sun can also combust Mercury when they are very close, there's caution here, so be aware. Pride in your ideas, watch out for that. The temptation to over-explain or over-analyze, overthinking. Miscommunications born from the mind racing ahead of the heart. And in the post-eclipse window that we're in, what's being refined now is not just your thoughts, but your entire communication structure. And it's a brilliant time to organize your systems, refine your business, your offerings, complete detailed projects, clear up contracts or agreements, and realign your message so it speaks from your current voice, not your past identity. But the invitation isn't to do more, it's to do less with great structural integrity. It's time to distill. Less is more. Mercury will stay in Virgo until October 3rd, and the Sun will be there till mid-October, and you'll feel this precision window open for a few weeks more. Now, especially once Mercury moves out of this combustion into Libra at the start of October, it'll bring more balance and relational grace. But for now, speak only what's true. Don't rush to explain, and let your voice be a beam of coherence, not a net for attention. If you're curious about your own Vedic astrology chart and want a soul blueprint reading or a sacred wealth code reading to unlock your personal blueprint, I offer both, and you'll find the details in the show notes. Distillation is power. This is the spine of the NarrowGate system. It doesn't announce itself, it refines itself. And this isn't a new teaching, it's a remembering. Distillation strips away the noise. Not just the clutter on your calendar, but the energetic excess that comes from overextension. This moment in your leadership isn't asking you to become more visible. It's asking you to become more true. So begin by noticing what's no longer resonant. What spaces feel crowded? Not because of time, but because of interference. What conversations leave a residue that pulls you out of yourself? You know those. And what offers or commitments no longer carry a full-bodied yes? Distillation is the art of reduction, but in the highest sense. It's the sacred act of clarifying signal from noise. And this isn't about minimalist scheduling. And this is about spiritual precision. So ask yourself, who am I without the pressure to produce? And what remains when I stop broadcasting? I've signed up for many containers over the years, masterminds, high-level coaching groups, even spiritual programs, because something in the field pointed me towards them. And I've learned this. Sometimes I receive what I came for before the first call even begins. A single reflection, a pulse of clarity, a quiet no. At the beginning of the year, I signed up for a container that revealed something profound before we ever really got started. Not through what they gave me, but through what they asked of me. Hustle, strategy, output. And that's when I knew I no longer needed containers built to activate what I've already outgrown. I needed architecture that could meet me where I am. And that's the distinction. Containers built to extract effort often crumble when the soul speaks. But sacred containers, built from coherence, invite your full embodiment. That's the difference between something you outgrow and something that grows with you. Sacred Wealth Mastery is this kind of container. It's not trying to get you anywhere. It's holding the structure for where you already are so that you can remember it. Letting those other programs go was an act of devotion. What returned was space, power, and my true path. Where are you still showing up out of obligation, not resonance? Time and energy are currencies of your devotion. They are not neutral. They are not passive. Time isn't just something you spend. It's something you consecrate. Every yes is a multiplication. Every minute holds momentum. What you give your energy to becomes who you are available to become. Where you spend your energy determines what you become available for. This is a hinge, a homecoming, a purification. And this is why refinement matters. Because what you give yourself to gives shape to you in return. There's a reason why so many are tired. It's not the doing, it's the lack of resonance with the doing. When you're scattered across a dozen micro commitments that no longer hold your current tone, your field becomes diffused. And power does not dwell in diffusion. Ask yourself, where am I spending energy out of obligation? What am I becoming available for without realizing it? Because what you give your energy to becomes who you are available to become. You can liken this to watering seeds. Even if the soil looks fertile, if the seed is not yours to tend, it will never root into coherence. Better to water one root fully than scatter droplets across 100 barren patches. Power isn't found in expansion. It's revealed in refinement. We're conditioned to equate expansion with success. But real power doesn't inflate, it distills. This phase isn't about growing your reach. It's about collapsing the distortion. When you serve from a fragmented or compensatory place, your offers, message, or presence carry even a trace of over-efforting. You're broadcasting static. Refinement brings signal clarity. This is the power of silence over spectacle. The richness of containment over constant expression. And the maturity to serve only with what is yours to serve with. Ask yourself, where am I acting from the belief that more is better? Where is refinement being mistaken for invisibility? Because in NarrowGate, refinement is not contraction. It is strength at its most composed form. There was a moment recently where someone reflected back to me that the way I speak in my astrology transmissions, which are on YouTube, has changed. That it's slower, more spacious, less explanatory. They shared that they preferred more stories, more explanations, more something to grasp onto. And while I listened, I didn't explain myself. Not because I was withholding, but because I had already heard the deeper tone behind the comment. I knew that anything I said would be filtered through a frequency not ready to receive what was actually present. So I let the silence hold. I didn't justify the pace of my truth. That moment, small as it might seem, was a gate. A choice point where I could have diluted the structure in order to be understood, or could let refinement speak for itself. So, where in your life are you still explaining what no longer needs explanation? Silence is not the absence of care, it is the maturity of coherence. Frequency leadership lives in coherence, not scale. This is a tone shift. You already feel it. Think of a tuning fork. It doesn't need to be loud to shift the tone of the room. It only needs to vibrate at the purest frequency. That's frequency leadership. It doesn't try to reach everyone. It resonates so clearly that the right ones come closer. We're not broadcasting anymore. We are building a temple, not a temple of stone, but of structure, of remembrance, of mature resonance. Your leadership is not for everyone. It was never meant to be. True frequency leadership doesn't chase reach. It holds integrity. It doesn't dilute to attract. It doesn't bend to be palatable. It becomes so coherent that only those in harmonic alignment can enter. This is where you are now. The time of building from urgency is over. And this is a different architecture. And the only door is resonance. Welcome to the NarrowGate. Sacred Wealth Mastery isn't something you sign up for. It's a gate you remember when you're ready to walk it. There is no pressure here, no pitch. If you're feeling the frequency, you're already near the door. Inside, you'll find the architecture to hold your wealth, your service, your purpose, your true power without distortion. If it's time, the gate will open. You'll find the invitation in the show notes. we are going to do an oracle card reading from the Sacred Wealth Code Oracle deck. I shuffled these earlier. I'm going to give them a quick shuffle here and see what archetypes come in to support us and guide us today. If you have a particular question, no worries. Hold that in your heart. Trust what is revealed. Pick 2 archetypes here. See who comes in. Oh, beautiful. So the first archetype that walks in is the engineer. Every problem has a solution, but I prefer to spell this S-O-U-L. Every problem has a solution. This is Mars's card. This is that great strategy aspect. And Mars and the great engineer are here to remind us that, yes, there is a strategic way for you to move forward, and it must be from the inside out. The problems that you're looking for solutions for, the true answers, the true solutions are found on the inside. Too much strategy will pull you all over the place. Pull your energy back from listening outside of yourself, unless what you're listening to strikes the chords of truth within you. Make sure the plan fits. And the second card that comes in is the Muse. And the Muse's mantra is, I inspire and I am inspired. This is Venus's card, one of Venus's cards. This is the Muse. Now, the Muse doesn't walk in the door from the beginning. We have to create some structure first before the Muse shows up to the party to go ahead and bring that inspiration. So the Muse is reminding you to create the structure in that distillation of your leadership and speaking from your truth. Inspiration will then enter the door. Then the Muse will walk in and give you all the inspiration that is truly yours. And again, that can only be accessed from the inside out. Also, for whoever this is meant to land for, that inspiration that keeps landing, but you keep spinning with it. Just move with the first strike of inspiration. And for those of you who don't feel inspired, move from your truth. You don't need inspiration to move from your truth. If you're interested in the Sacred Wealth Code Oracle deck, book, or journal, all of the links are below. You can get them on Amazon as well, your Sacred Wealth Code. Let's do our integration practice, because it's important to be fully embodied. My intention is never just to give you information. And hopefully, if you're still listening, what you've heard, received, has struck the chords of truth within you, of resonance. Where you spend your energy determines what you become available for. Let's come into the body. Let's feel what's already speaking beneath the surface. So take a few quiet breaths. Let your awareness drop into your lower belly, your lower back. Just breathe deep. Come into yourself. Place your hand on your heart. Your heart knows the way. I'm going to drop some questions in. Without forcing the answers, let them arise. Where does my energy flow automatically each day? Name the top 3 places your time, your attention naturally goes each day. You can name them in your mind or you can write them down. Pause this if you need more time. Stay with each one and really feel it. And then we'll ask, is this a sacred container? Or is this container sacred? Or is it leaky? Does it hold your frequency or does it drain it? There's no right or wrong here, just the truth. Now, imagine calling that energy back. Not with effort, but with awareness. Let it return to your spine, to your high heart, to the inner wellspring of your own availability. Call it back, breathe it back. This week, walk with the phrase. Where you spend your energy determines what you become available for. Let it filter your calendar, your commitments, your conversations. Speak it aloud before you say yes. Let it rewire what you think you're supposed to do. And then ask, what am I spending energy on that no longer carries my signature? What am I now available for that I wasn't before? Where does my current availability feel out of alignment with my essence? There is power in choosing again. There is wealth in containment. You are not leaking, you are listening. Take a deep breath. Again, if this tone of reverence speaks something within you, you may already be in the field of sacred wealth mastery. There's nothing to chase, only something to remember. You'll find a link in the show notes along with everything else I mentioned. If you'd like personal guidance to align your true nature, a sacred wealth code reading or soul blueprint reading is a powerful way to see your unique gifts, the timing written in your chart. And the Sacred Wealth Healing Circle on the full moons, every full moon, is a place to receive support and reset in a sacred way. The Healing Circle is always here as part of this work. It's a beautiful place to restore coherence and alignment with your own inner architecture. And again, you'll find that link and all of them in the show notes or down below this video, wherever you're watching it. And as always, I invite you to subscribe, to follow, to share the podcast with someone who might need it today. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please leave a review. Your words help this message reach others. And on Spotify, you could simply like or leave me a comment. And on YouTube, please like, share, and leave me a comment. I read them all. Thank you for being here. And remember, your soul already carries the blueprint for your wealth and your purpose. When you live in alignment with that truth, the right people, opportunities, and resources, they'll arrive without force, in perfect timing, and in perfect sequence. So much love to you.